Hello, we're Secret Agent Agency, and thank you for joining us. We're back on Final Fantasy XVI after what feels like an incredibly long hiatus from it. I was not feeling well, and we played some other stuff. And now I'm back. My name is Kevin, and joining me I have Andrew.
I've got 99 problems and indictments for most of them.
I wasn't expecting you to have... Okay.
Here's your current event.
Yeah. And Jihun will possibly stop in. Maybe. He's not here currently. Okay, so feel like we could use a bit of a refresher. We just beat up Titan. It was a very fun fight that took like an entire recording to do. And it seems like we're heading towards Bahamut land now, and the Bahamut dominant seems pretty chill and cool. And there's some shadowy shit going on in Odin's camp. He's got a friend who's kind of manipulative and evil.
We got like 2 crystals left. We blew up one fighting Titan, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Another thing to note is we haven't cleared whatever is necessary for us to receive our Shiva power.
Well, be. All of our comrades who lost their lives back at Sid's place be smiling down at you right now.
We had a stolus from Lubor saying Drake's fang had fallen. I expect that was your doing as well, was it?
It's a long story.
One for the history books, I'll bet.
Welcome home, Clive.
It's good to be back. You look better.
I feel it. Which means I'm coming on your next little adventure. You're not leaving me behind again.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Oh, is she recovering from like that last like personal story she had? Right?
Yeah, she kind of overused her powers, and I would guess she has some petrification going on, some like gray skin.
Thank you.
That's being covered up by her clothing, but it seemed to be like in her like side or like kidney area.
That's right. I remember that now.
Mm-hmm. How's audio? Is audio okay? Because I've been playing a bunch of stuff and okay.
All sounds good.
Cool.
It's good to have you back.
Everything's recording properly, right?
It seems that way.
Alright, good.
Fancy a look at the list.
And we're still just kind of like, we'll look at what side quests are available, but just kind of, you know, pick and choose.
Quick look. Seen enough? Clive!
No.
You watch
Stop it.
out there, all right?
How may I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised?
Is the cleric's medallion +1 any good?
No clue. I can look it up.
Was it the direwolf Jess that you liked?
Hold on a sec.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
It increases combo damage by 5%.
Thank you.
Eh, I could take it or leave it.
What was the other one?
Cleric's medallion +1.
You have the look of a man with the twins upon his shoulders, Rodrigue.
Talia has tasked me with removing a Cursebreaker's brand. But it's my first time and
Increases healing potency of potions by 40%.
I'm afraid of what happens.
About what
if
I figured
fail.
it did, but that's a lot.
You
40%,
survived, I know,
but yeah.
It was
Take
meant
it or
to
leave
die.
it.
Let's recover. Is it really worth the risk?
You don't need me to answer that. You know full well what we're fighting for. I hope as much as you that one day
Oh,
bearers can walk
I'm
on
wearing
another's
an old
sequels.
Dream Daddy shirt I found
But
in the
until
closet.
that day, a
Goth
brand
Dad.
is a burden, and we must lift that burden in order to go undetected. The operation may be dangerous, but it's also essential, and we undergo it willingly.
I know. I still wish there was some other way. But griping about my lot helps no one, I suppose. Don't worry. I'll do what must be done.
I know you will.
Unfortunately, the first thing that needs doing is the preparation of a draft to dull the pain. Something I can't do with the infirmary's ammonia supply so low. What few leaves we have would barely be enough for removing a splinter, let alone a brand.
Just tell me what you need.
You'll go? Oh, thank you. No one knows herb lore like Taya, and she swears by ammonia for easing pain. It's simple enough to find, if you know where to look. And fortunately for you, I do. Along the river near the village of Amber over in Rosaria. Just search for the bright blue blossoms.
So on my replay of FF9,
Yeah.
I've come to really appreciate like the overall story and characters. Like some don't really get a full like what do you call it? Like really good focus. Like several of them
I
come in
always
and
remember I always remember Freya like has her arc like right in the middle of the game and then just like has nothing else after that.
At least she gets an arc, because Amaranth rarely gets anything, and
he barely gets any time. But
yeah,
what's
Quina
there
is just kind of
cool.
a joke character.
Yeah.
Do you have a moment?
Everyone gets a little bit of time to shine,
A team of
more or
curse
less.
breakers has gone missing near Northreach.
Yeah, Amaranth's really cool. There's a
They were sent to liberate a
there's
carriage of bearers
the
before
first, the core four, and then Ico get the most
they were
focus.
moving in for their assault
Yeah.
when the carriage was attacked
With
by
Amaranth, I
goblins.
feel like a lot of his story is just
Breaker
like
managed to release
inference,
the Stolas amid the
right?
confusion,
Because
but
you kind of you get
this
an
was
idea.
days ago. They should be
I'm
back
having a
home
hard
now,
time
but I've
coming
heard
up with
nothing
specific
from
examples
any of
because
them.
it's been a while since I played
I
9.
can't help but worry that
But
They know the work is
like you kind of get an idea of how
sure they're fine.
Amaranth feels about
But what if
things,
I've
and
got
then the
them
fact
all
that he's
killed?
joined your party and has kind of
Before they go out,
settled
they'll
his
always remind
grudge
them
with
why we're
Zidane,
doing this,
like means a
what
lot
they
to the story, I
escaped,
think.
and what we're freeing people from.
I mean, he's
I never
welcome in
really
the
thought
in the
my
game once he
words might
joins the
affect
band,
them.
because he is kind of like
The
counter
risks they
to
might take because of the things
I don't know if you
I've
want to say
seen.
Zidane, whatever, proper pronunciation for it.
I'll go and
But
find them.
he's a good
Rest easy
like
knowing they're
alternative
safe.
viewpoint character
you,
from like
Sid.
story scenes that happen after
I'm
that,
sorry
after he
to
joins.
trouble you with this. The plan was to intercept the slaver somewhere in the Dragon's Eyrie. I can't tell you much more than that, I'm afraid.
That should be enough to go
Yeah,
on.
I really wished
If they were there, Torgal will track them
Beatrix
down.
could have like joined the party sometime late in the game. I think that would have been cool.
Well, in this replay, I installed a mod that lets you. She joins you after, after you finally get the airship. I think. Right around that point.
Like I was thinking, decent, and this is a spoiler for FF9, but like a decent time for Beatrix to join you is when Garnet gets the Eidolons kind of sucked out of her, right?
I mean, that's like one of the last party separation points. It's like she does join the good side, more or less. She fights along Freya and Steiner while the rest split off.
I may have picked up one or two.
Well, the fact that you came straight to me instead of visiting our resident physiker suggests that you picked up something more important.
But the only thing I would say like kind of holds the game back is the combat system. I think it's like one of the shittiest ATB systems they ever had.
Yeah,
The royalists
I agree, and I think part of it is just like
his men.
it feels unresponsive. Like FF7 and FF8, which have a very similar combat system, but like when you select the menu option to attack, your character attacks. I think part
crystal
of
an allied
Final Fantasy
nation
IX's
and
problems
let
with
both
is the
fall.
combat animations are really
It
slow.
makes no sense.
Everything's
Like,
slow.
everything has to charge up, the camera's got to move into position, and then you get to see your animation, you know.
One must instead
Like the way the queuing system in that game works, it's very easy for enemies to get multiple turns over your own if you're not like gaming it, which is like not a fun way of interacting with it.
Right, so basically you spend a bunch of your spare time in combat having the item menu open, right?
Yeah, you have a menu open while a character finishes their animation and their ATB gauge goes back to 0. Then you add more actions to the queue. There's like the one infamous super boss, Ozma, is like very, very mean about the way it counters like every action. It can get like 3 or 4 actions to every one action you do if you're not careful.
Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest. But
Like Garrula in Final Fantasy V.
the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest.
Yes, that's a tricky first encounter depending on like what jobs you're playing with.
That
like
encounter's so mean. Yeah.
Knight
That's such a
hard blocks
mean
it,
encounter.
but like that's the only thing. Otherwise,
White Mage is funny.
White Mage is a pain in the ass because it's just like one guy attacking, another guy healing one and like cures, and like that's kind of it.
Yeah, I did that. The Garrula fight took me like a fucking hour.
Yeah, it takes forever.
Only to make no attempt to claim the mother crystal for Waloed. It can hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twin.
I should mention for any confused viewers, typically when Andrew and I talk about FF5, we're talking about FF5, the 4-job Fiesta runs, where basically at the time you are fighting Gorilla, you only have access to 1 job. It's a challenge run.
Will be trampled underfoot.
They can all make it past it. It's just White Mage just takes forever.
In summary, I know not
Red Mage and Black Mage can crack a rod to get past it. Monk
Blue
can be
Mage turns
tricky
into a toad.
because if you don't hit hard fast enough, you need to like have a bunch of potions.
Yeah.
Thief is probably the suckiest because they have, unless you get lucky with some knives you get in that tower, you don't do a lot of damage and you just need potions bad.
do just that by keeping an eye on the royalists' movements.
Knight, of course, auto wins everyone at low health except for one just spamming guard.
Which means all that remains for us to do is await his reports. Well, not quite all in your case. The people of the hideaway must hear the news. Justice has
But
been done.
9 was the last one to have the classic combat system. 10-2 kind of brought it back with like the best version of it.
Yeah,
10 did its own
10-2 is
thing.
really good.
11 and 14 are MMOs. 12 did its own strange thing. I guess 13 is kind of ATB. I guess,
Yeah,
like,
kind of.
You do multiple turn actions in one go, sort of, with the way you queue up multiple ATB costed moves.
And we are, all of us, sentimental animals at heart.
I like 7R's concept of like a real-time action. But with
Yeah,
like
7R's is
ATB.
really good.
And this one
also kind of similar to it, there's a Type 0, which is kind of similar to 7's. But I really like it. It's got like a dodge roll, and you have like a regular attack button, a special attack button, and magic.
Okay.
The magic's consumable-ish. Like you only have so many charges of it between like rest stops. So I guess it's kind of like spell slots.
Ah, my favorite pupil. What is it that you wish to learn? The state of the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
Yeah, we're
Lay the lore on me, lady.
just talking to people. The world needs to know that Hugo Kupka is dead.
Here's where they go from here. Was this game very successful? It is locked down to a single console.
What is it? I'm busy.
That is something that holds it back a bit.
Hugo Kupka is dead.
Commercially, it's been pretty successful. I think reception has been kind of mixed. Once people have played it, it's been kind of mixed.
How long I've been waiting to
And I would say I'm kind of mixed on it, but I still really enjoy it.
A new beginning under a new Sid.
Gameplay looks like it's
Try to live up to the
gonna be
name.
pretty fun, and
I
some of the
think
set pieces
we're-
are nuts.
Yeah, I think where my problems stem from is you have these really hyperactive combat sequences and everything, and they're really fun. It's high energy, and everything you do in between them is a fucking bummer. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
everything's so
we-
slow, ponderous, sad.
Someone looks
You know,
pleased
We-
with
We've
it.
had a
it's
few
like this-
standout side quests.
It's true,
Yeah,
one there and now.
but it's this really
escapes you,
big
Lady
like
Karen.
cognitive dissonance
It's true.
between like the story and
Cougar is
the
dead.
mechanics of the game,
No more
where
looking over
they
our
have this
shoulders
really over the top action heavy
Good.
combat
then. Starting to get a crick in my neck.
and this like
Don't
really
let it go to
slow
your head, though.
ponderous dialogue and cutscenes that could all possibly be a little shorter. So I think that's where like my gripes are.
Okay. I don't know how arcadey the Final Fantasy mode is. Like after you beat the game, you can unlock the hard mode.
Have you
Yeah,
Just kinda
I'm
just, like,
looking
stage
I'm looking
attack?
forward to it.
No,
Or not stage attack. Not wait.
to share
Score
my
attack,
shame.
I guess. Because I think it scores you.
Hugo
Mhm.
Cougar is dead.
By the way, you can turn that on. It's off by default. You can turn that on during the regular new game.
Oh, okay.
Can it really be true?
Look, he's
But I guess, like,
flying.
to some extent, I'm trying to play it how it was intended to be played
Big
your first time.
baby.
Yeah.
And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
Oh, having Thanksgiving and Christmas? Merry
Brilliant.
Christmas?
Finally,
Happy
new dawn
Christmas.
has broken.
It does.
Thank you, Clive. I cannot wait to share the good news.
Hippocrates. After Kuka fell, Ultima came to me.
So
I need
I'm
to know
looking
what
at
he is.
timing for our streams. I wanted to talk about the
Anything.
Alas,
streaming service thing on
No.
recording. So
not for want of trying.
today might be our last stream on Kick.
Scoured nigh every historical tome in our
We're
collection and
probably
found
moving back
nothing.
to Twitch. My
Not
reasons
even
for
the
it
sort of
are
conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact.
like
One
Kick
is
hasn't done anything
almost
wrong, I don't
tempted to
think, like
conclude such a
that I
creature
know
ever
of. I've been
existed.
ever since like Twitter and Reddit both like
My own eyes.
became
I don't
terrible
doubt that you
places.
did.
I haven't kept up with like a lot of
It
news.
seems you are
So
the
maybe I
only
missed
one
something,
who
but
has.
the
To others,
audience on Kick has kind of decided what they
see only
want,
that which
you know,
believes
and the things that
gives
get
weight,
popular here
like
are
some
like
terrible force of nature beyond the ken of mortal
a lot
man.
of like non-gaming
of
content,
death.
like a lot of
Whether
just
the
chatting
Ultima
about
you met
like
with was the being
male
himself,
advice
or merely
or
another projection of its power, I know
I'm
not.
trying to think
Until I do,
like that hustle
my
culture,
investigations shall continue.
you know,
Thank you.
that kind of thing, and
it's a lot.
gambling. And the only games I really see take off are
Let's see if Otto has anything else for
like
me.
Grand Theft Auto. And I feel like regardless of all the other stuff that happens on the site, like I feel like our people just aren't here. I feel like Twitch has more of
It's true.
our audience
I heard it from Otto's own lips.
that I would be trying to reach. I don't really agree with how either company handles like moderation and safety tools and stuff like that. But Twitch is getting better. When you block somebody now on Twitch, they cannot view your stream. You can turn that on. That's nice. So, considering going back to Twitch, well, I am probably next stream. And also, we are
She was right there.
going to be upgrading
Everyone was glad to hear the
our
news.
Discord experience.
You ain't told everything.
we are adding Me6 to Discord, and that's going to let us do polls and notifications better, things like that, moderation, and that'll help me feel a bit more comfortable and like kind of opening up and trying to promote our Discord along with our content as kind of like here's how to reach us, here's how to see what we're up to, because we don't currently have that. I haven't been posting either on my personal or on the stream Twitter. I've made a couple YouTube posts time of recording. Yeah, I've been kind of down on social networks lately, but Discord's still going strong.
It's kind of one of the only ones I even interact with anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of the subreddits I used to visit are like complete shitholes now because the good moderators left and the other ones that are still around don't have access to any tools that help them do their jobs, so they're just like overrun with fucking bullshit. Or just like a lot of the people who post like the good content have all jumped ship, and I think people are just kind of waiting around for whatever the next thing is. I don't think I'm the only one in the boat that I'm in. Fuck.
Especially the replacement for X.
Yeah. Elon Musk is talking about removing the block feature, so you can't block people, you can only mute them. This would basically, the effect this would have is when you block somebody, they're still able to view your stuff.
If I don't come up with something soon. All right, Clive? What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen.
Oh yeah.
The Enterprise. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is...
I think that was from FF4 was the first one to use Enterprise as an airship name.
That sounds correct. I was wondering that myself.
Which is where the
I know Invincible was first in 3.
I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind.
At least in its current incarnation on the paper, this appears to be a seafaring vessel and not an airfaring vessel.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts meching.
I really like Mid. I like her look, I like her accent. The energy she brings.
Improvement over previous Mid.
Oh, yeah.
That disperses all
yeah.
heat into the air. And the shielding.
Remember getting back attacked just before you got to chat with him?
Oh, with Ifrit?
Full suit of armor, then.
That was
Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
I think it was Biblos.
Then you'll need to start with the
I forget the name of the
plate.
boss
Everything
there.
else fits onto it. I've got the designs.
Like, I like the idea of my character just like opening a book, getting surprised that a monster's coming out of it, like some fucked up pop-up, and they go like, "Oh no!" and they throw it behind them.
Don't make it no tell of them.
That was just so funny.
Apparently,
Like,
it's a
even know that could
very
happen.
like astronaut. Yeah, that is like a very astronomically low chance of occurring.
Like, I don't think Like, I've never had that happen with any boss in that game. I don't know if that's only for that boss or any boss, but it's so out of nowhere.
It's just funny that it happened to me with that boss in particular, because you're literally holding them when the battle begins, right? Like, the whole idea is you open the book and a monster comes out of it. Did you like throw the book behind you in surprise?
That's the only way to make sense of it.
You can tell they've thought about that a lot.
Blackthorn, can I ask a favour?
Out with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Krieger's teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy though. And I'll need help. Get Gav and Otto in here, will you?
All right.
What are we having to make?
The thermal displacer for the airship, or for the ship.
Okay.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, has she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out.
Are we gonna find some fucking adamantite?
Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand coat in the sand.
Sounds like a drug, like a street name for a drug.
Yeah, you got some stardust.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, and we can get this over with.
Okay.
You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these two lucky souls is going with you?
Oh. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember who Otto is.
We're Gav all the way.
Yeah.
Gav, you're with me.
All right then. So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Alamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of the stuff from Blackthorn's supplier. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting them fleece ya.
Fleece me? I'd like to see him try.
In your own time.
He cracked the crystal too? You're joking.
Karen, got anything good?
And what can I do for you? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it.
Buy an enhancer.
You're rubbing me blind, you know. Finished, are you?
The one thing that I did learn, like as far as like equipment wise, is that it's never gonna get better than like how it's been, or it's just
just number
it's
go
like
up.
a couple, a little bit number go up. Even like the ultimate gear is a little bit numbered or what.
Yeah, I'm aware. I too have heard that. This sword's cool. It's kind of like a katana. I know the enhancer is what Terra's like sword is called. Like when she's in like concept art and stuff, like her sword that she's holding is the enhancer.
I know that's like a really good end game sword if you don't get like the super busted stuff, because I think it gives like magic bonus.
It does give magic bonus, but wouldn't ammo weapon be better for that? Or am I...
Ammo weapon just is like based on level, I think.
Oh, okay.
At least in FF6. Like it displays max battle power or whatever when you put it on, but it's like its entire formula is based on your level. Including like how big it gets, which is funny. Like it's a lightsaber if I remember right.
Yeah.
The most fragrant herbs and spices.
Gone, just like that. And without so much as a...
Is ammo weapon like the first like Ultima weapon type
apprentice.
thing? I know there's been some efforts to like go back and say, oh well, Omega is actually Omega weapon.
Loath though I am to rely on
So the first Omega weapon was in 5. The first Ultima weapon equipment is 6.
Mm-hmm.
Translated as Atma weapon
I'll
in
see
the
what
OG.
I can do. Do you know where he might have gone?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was off somewhere mooning at Drake's Fang. He used to work there, you see. Poor fool left his heart in its hollow.
Yeah, Mega was first in 5, then it didn't show up again until 8. And then it was again in 10, I think only in the arena.
Hmm.
Oh wait, no, he's in his own dungeon, and then there's like a recolor in arena.
Yeah. Omega has a whole raid tier in Final Fantasy 14.
Butter knife before.
I beat up Omega for like a year.
Perhaps Forge Master Luba's having fun at my expense.
I like the way he looks in 13 too.
Yeah. Yeah, his whole thing in 14 was he was like a super computer that came from like the depths of space or like some other plane, and because he views you, the Warrior of Light, as such like this existential threat to the universe, I guess, and he comes to like test you and pretty much like tries to kill you, and he turns into human forms, he turns into Omega weapon.
I don't suppose you have any idea.
It was a whole thing, but
I'm afraid not.
he brings like a whole bunch of like Final Fantasy 5 bosses, 6 bosses. You played the Phantom Train, Chardonnay, stuff like that.
Okay.
I could give you a hand if you like. I know how busy the Briar's Kiss has been, and that Lubor needs all the capable hands.
Oh, actually, through him, you fight X-Death and Kefka.
So, where do we start?
Good question. If I'm honest,
Interesting mashup.
I've never made any kind of knife before. And then there's this little riddle.
Yeah, the first tier is all about Final Fantasy 5. Second tier is all about FF6, and then the third tier is just all about Omega. You fight like different parts of Omega. Like it's hard to explain.
You're right. There's no point fumbling in the dark, I suppose. Now, who to speak to first? Well, there's plenty of folk in Dalamil who use knives for a living. There's the butcher, of course, and any number of cooks. They're bound to have an opinion or two about the tools of their trade. All right. I think we have a plan. Let's get to it, shall we? I'll talk to every cook I can find. You speak to the butcher, and anyone else you can think of.
All right. Good luck.
Let's hope that someone says something useful.
Trust Lubor to take a simple test and turn it into a riddle. I'd better get to it.
Welcome, sir. What can I do you for?
A question, if you don't mind. I need to know what makes a good carving knife.
You a blacksmith or something?
Something, I suppose.
Fair enough. Knives, is it? First and foremost, it's got to hold an edge. Most knives will make it through fat no problem, but sinew dulls cheap steel in no time. Give me a blade which can slice through anything that crosses my chopping block, and I'm a happy woman.
So a knife that stays sharp. Makes sense.
This isn't rocket science, Clive.
Oh, where did all the men
Made from the stoutest stoneware. Everything I've worked for.
Is this main story quest?
No, this is side
I've
quest.
ever earned is tied up in this place.
Are you all right?
I'm just picking
Baths
stuff
are
up.
closed. Leave me be. On second thought, perhaps you are just what I need. Might your services be for hire?
That depends on the job.
I'd have you save my business, the baths. The water's turned scalding hot and all the crystals in Dalimil wouldn't be enough to cool it. I've no doubt that my woes stem from the water's source. But I can't go and investigate for fear of my customers thinking I've abandoned the place. I'm bound to these baths in more ways than one. I beg of you. Go to Dusnoff Terraces. Tell me what you find there.
All right. I'll go and take a look.
Wonderful. It's not far. Leave the market by the south gate. The smell of sulfur will guide you the rest of the way. These baths are all that keep me from an ignoble end in a debtor's prison. My livelihood, my very life, is at stake.
Yeah, I just picked some stuff up on the way.
Alrighty.
Won't you come and play, handsome?
And then increase our fame, or whatever that currency is, I forget.
Oh, where did all the men
Take a sniff, good sir.
The finest.
Take a sniff, good sir.
Looks like I found the river. Now where's Gav?
Boulder tackled him.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this stardust stuff as we can. Dunno what
Oh,
Black
sometime
Forest
when we're
plans
out
to
of
do
story
with it,
stuff, I want to talk about
though.
Baldur's
Over in
Gate 3 and how
Dalimil,
much I
they
love
seem
it.
to think it was
Okay.
worthless.
I think I ruined my playthrough though.
Have you like looked up stuff?
Plenty of the stuff lying
I
about
think
just
so.
begging to be bagged.
I'll talk more about it.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
Like I said, I'm probably play the shit out of it once I get it myself too.
Yeah.
But I got other things to play, but I know I feel like it's the kind of game once I stick my teeth into it, I won't be able to put it down for a while.
Mm-hmm. So, I looked up some stuff to figure out, like, how do I get all the playable characters in my party all together without, like, leaving, hating each other, etc. And I accomplished that, but it turns out it's a glitch to do some of it. Two characters totally cannot coexist in the same party. And it, like, messes up the game, sort of. So you have like a character who's kind of there, kind of not there. It's weird. But
just like diametrically opposed. Your good and your evil characters.
Yeah. And well, to help one, you have to kill the other. Is kind of how it goes. And it's a whole thing. I don't want to get into the mechanics of it too much because it's entirely possible it's already been patched out because it was confirmed a glitch from the devs. But basically a lot of it involved like instead of making any real decisions on like you know, do you want to do the good thing or the evil thing, instead you just ignore it. And that's kind of like a neutral way of solving an issue, is like, you know, it's like, oh, well, this doesn't bother me, see ya, right? And that's had some side effects for me, because it feels like I'm only getting parts of the story. Like, it's giving me, like, hooks, like, hey, there's this guy over there, you know, and everybody tells me, you know, like, oh, go talk to this guy. So you go to where they're saying it is, and he's not there. Like, he just doesn't exist for me, and it's because I didn't make some other decision earlier. And if I made that decision, it would have kicked one of my characters out. So things like that I'm grappling with. So I'm traveling through. I'm in Act 2 now, like midway through it, and I'm playing what feels like kind of an empty shell of a game. Like, a lot of NPCs just aren't fucking there.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough. So you just like glitched that out.
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah, like, to do what I did, I think I had to make... I had to not make some, like, flagged decisions that the game, I think, relies on, like, one of those decisions being, like, guaranteed. And because I don't have them flagged, certain characters don't appear. You know what I mean? Like I missed hitting flags.
You know, man to man like
yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
So don't do what I did. Just make decisive decisions.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is.
Will do.
Yeah.
Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or
I think I for sure want to be a bard and just be rocking out.
Off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
I haven't had any bard experience yet in the game, but I hear it's fun. I hear you can just like start playing an instrument in town and people will come and tip you.
The one thing I liked was apparently like you can play an instrument as like a free action, and while all the characters are doing their turn, you're just rocking out.
Yeah, you can do that. I always get you played this poorly. You know, it's like, oh, okay. It doesn't do anything, I don't think. Like,
thanks to you.
The only kind of stuff I've looked into at the game was like mechanic stuff, where it's like I might have background, sorry, but like having like a cleric or other stuff.
That's enough soppy shite for one day.
Like a cleric, like a level in cleric, or like a level on another thing gives you like some good moves.
Yeah, that's just D&D though. I've been running a Oathbreaker Paladin and Great Old One Warlock dual class. That's been fun.
Okay.
Once you get to, I think, level 3 Warlock, you can dual cast your Eldritch Blast and make it do things like knock your enemy back or frighten them, something like that. So it's like this free spell that does like 20 to 30 damage, frightens and knocks back enemies, and that's always fun. Jumping is OP. picking up and throwing enemies if you're strong enough is OP. Because you can just chuck enemies into chasms or lava.
I remember seeing like an interaction with like was like a storm wizard or storm something with like you just make enemies like wet and just like do a shitload of damage with whatever like lightning spells you have.
Yeah. I did some of that in Divinity, but I haven't done it in Baldur's Gate 3.
I think Helldivers first showed up in FF4, and they were a summon, an optional summon that would petrify, I think.
Oh.
That game. Yeah, like Goblin. Oh, I think, okay, Helldiver, like, there's eventually like
Cockatrice?
Yeah, eventually Cockatrice is like an endgame version, but like summon a Goblin. Every Goblin enemy can drop the Goblin summon.
Okay, this is dumb.
Where are those icons? I want the Goblin icon. The fat Chocobo icon.
Oh, give me Doom Train.
Doom Train icon will be pretty sweet.
Overkill.
Get him. Over here. Throw torch.
I feel like Titan's probably more fun against bosses than against regular enemies, because regular enemies, like, you can just like stun lock them.
Yeah, anything without a what is it, a stagger bar? Like if they don't have like a stagger bar, you're start like building up. It just seems like they just you can just ragdoll them pretty much.
Oh, Blackthorn's like back on the ship. Okay. Right, so I'm just supposed to like go. We're not on the ship, on the island. Whatever this fucking. Yeah, it's a ship. Whatever. Mother base.
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs. Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You'll be sneaking around on your Todd all the time.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It will take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn.
Oh, another note about Baldur's Gate 3. Speak with animals is fucking mandatory. It's amazing every time I use it.
Like expands all the NPCs you can communicate with.
Yes, and they're all amazing.
Back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
Thinking about His Majesty. Hiss, I say. Hiss.
Clive.
Pretty much like all dialogue voice acted in that game too.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's great.
my best work, but it'll do. You can thank me later. And?
I made number go up more.
I like more number. All glory to the number.
I hate getting around places in this game.
How have you not memorized the whole ship yet?
The problem is it's been a few weeks. It's been a long few weeks. Also, Mid, like, just showed up. So, I haven't really learned where she hangs out yet.
Just follow the marker on the map.
Yeah, okay.
See, there you go.
You see it, showing me walls and stuff?
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
You gotta use your eyes for that.
What's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Helena.
Talking about somebody.
Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune
Gotta go
to
to a
rust, making
fallen
them a perfect
ruin.
material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
Alright, so we're fighting an unwanted visitor in some ruins. Ruins that are right here.
Appreciate just being able to like select the spot on the map and just go there rather than have to like trudge along a whole world map or something.
Just picking stuff up.
Ah, Clive. Your timing is exquisite, as always. I have a concern which you may be able to assist me with.
Go on.
There are whisperings afoot of shadowy figures having been sighted outside the village. Rustlings in the undergrowth, suspicious noises. My people fear that they are being watched. It may be no more than a surfeit of nerves, understandable in the current climate, or it may be the prelude to something altogether more dangerous. Given what I hope you'll forgive me calling your nose for trouble, I wondered if you might investigate.
Of course.
I love trouble.
Excellent. You might begin by speaking with the good citizens.
We're always
of
getting
Lost
into.
Listen to their tales, and make what you will of them.
All right. I will.
For great justice. Oh no. Oh no.
You get 20 fame for it though, or like renown. That's what it's called.
I'd better find out if this is just nerves, or something we need to take more seriously. No use calling Ambrosia now. Do you have a moment? There's talk of suspicious figures in the woods. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary?
No, but I've heard something. Sound of scraping metal, like someone sharpening a sword.
Where was this?
In Lorbert's Pass. Was out foraging for herbs when I heard it. Screeching out from between the trees. Ran back here as quick as my legs would carry me. And I ain't been back since.
I see. I'll look into it. Thank you.
See.
Seems Lorbert's Pass is our best bet then. What do you say, Torgal? Shall we go and investigate? No use calling Ambrosia now. This is no
Do we
time
only
to
have
ride.
Torgal with us, or is it like we have another homie?
Think we just have Torgal.
Run like the wind. You there.
Fuck! He's seen us. Get them before they escape.
Ooh.
Black shields. Here. What the hell are you doing here?
What is it to you? What do we give a damn? All that matters to us is that you don't leave here alive.
I love when he calls out the Torgal in his fucking demonic voice.
Just we had like more things to say.
Aside from pork.
That was like the commands. Hear him constantly with auto dog.
It's so much better than any of the Xenoblade Chronicles games. I will say that. Oh, I found a rare dude over here. I feel kind of bad for them. Oh, I think we leveled up.
Just juggling them.
Numbers go up.
Why were they here? Were they planning an attack on Lost Wing? I need to warn Quentin. Come on. Fly, Ambrosia.
Oh, did I wander back to town? I don't care. Other way.
Good girl.
Faster.
Riding on Chocobo is fun. Oh, enemies. Sure, I'll fight.
I just appreciate that you can kind of just like attack with your Chocobo sort of.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thanks, girl.
Hey, it's what's her face?
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you,
Why is she so cagey about this?
Of course. I'll be right back.
You know, more than she's letting on here.
Yeah.
Anybody home?
Oh, it's an Ahriman.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
He's actually called unwanted visitor. Oh no. Right, so how Doom works is there's a countdown and then
like get out of that area.
Yeah. One thing you really want to make sure about is that you don't get caught on geometry when you're trying to dodge Doom. Ah, damn it.
Oh, so
I wasn't watching my health.
Another game mechanic type thing learn about. Not going to encounter that with this enemy, but like marks or something like that, or just general enemy, random enemy encounters on the map. If you like keep dodging in like one direction, you might go outside the leash range.
Yeah.
And like if you do that and the encounter ends, if you try to re-engage, they'll be back at full health or something like that.
Yep.
Like really careful.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Camera tried to kill me there. I dodged back into it, but I was in iframes. That was cute. You see that, Andrew?
Yeah. And all over iframes.
Thank you, Berserker Ring.
The ninja roll ring of this game.
Yeah, pretty much. I still have that clip of me rolling away from the bone wheel. Remember that?
I think so.
There was like a long passage in some like sewer like ruins. It was just this long tunnel. The bone wheel was coming at me in Dark Souls. I was like, ah, ah, ah. Hello?
Things I do for you, Mid.
Hello.
You were queuing your
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
you were pressing control, but nothing was happening.
Don't let us keep you.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do
We'll,
that.
see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Okay. Gonna fast travel back to the hideaway. Gonna be a lot of that this stream, I guess. See, here's me remembering where Mid lives.
Good job.
Mid hasn't been
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
One more little fetch quest.
I think one more is being generous. I keep hoping I can jump over stuff and I can't. The other night when I was playing Sword and Fairy, I was able to jump over stuff that was in my way. That was nice.
Harpocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive? Always.
Well, actually, it's for mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine? Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
This sounds like it's
might be
poo-poo.
applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection it requires.
I thought they were talking about excrement, but then they called it moon dew.
Perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have.
What are we getting the airship for? Or were we visiting?
Procure the necessary ingredients.
I don't even know if it's an airship. I think it might just be a ship. As for what we're visiting, I don't recall.
Thank you, Harpocrates. And since you're asking others to help you,
I'm guessing we're going to where the big fight between Bahamut Land and Odin Land is.
Okay. The next story objective.
Yeah. Look, we need a boat to visit the next story.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company, too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research.
Wait, are we
I leave the decision
seriously going to choose between Tarja and Jill?
Hands, Clive.
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. We could have done with some of that on Drustinus.
I doubt I would have survived that place with or without it. A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle.
I'm tempted to go with Tarja just because she's cool and we haven't had a lot of like story time with her. But it feels weird like going on a trip without her girlfriend, you know?
Your story, your choice. Just don't try to bring both of them, because then you'll just break all the story flags.
Thanks for bringing it back. I just wanted Karlach and Minthara in the same party, okay? Yeah, let's go with Tarja.
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
Garlic. Conch shells. Are you sure this is the right list? Looks like the ingredients for someone's supper.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited. Effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Well, isn't that convenient? I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak to an old acquaintance. I'll meet you there.
All right. Stay safe.
See you later, Clive.
Good luck with your research.
Harpocrates and I'll look after things here. You head over to Northreach.
Oh, I guess, yep. Nyum. I think, once we finish whatever this is that we're going to do, we'll take our break.
No.
Okay.
Where's Tarja?
He's expecting a fight.
I don't know.
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled.
Need to stock up on these.
There you are, Tarja.
Ah, and there you are. We shouldn't have any problems finding what we need in a place like this. But if time is of the essence, perhaps we should split up. Take a few items each.
All right. What shall I look for?
Let's see now. Why don't you take the garlic and the pepio nuts? Meet me by the gate when you've got them.
What do you want? And? Good riddance.
There's talk. How the hell is anyone supposed to avoid?
We haven't much, but you're free to look. Good day.
Guy's just carrying around one garlic.
Hopefully Tarja's finished too.
Welcome. Come
Plus
back
already
again.
have-
Well, did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Job done. We should get this back to Tomes then. He'll be waiting.
Seriously?
But we're not in too much of a rush, are we?
Okay, okay.
Quick chat.
I was gonna say, like, really? Really?
Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire. No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. Has it really been 5 years? I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
It does. In a good way, of course. Thank you, Taya.
For what?
For everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us, all you still do, it's appreciated.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us.
See, now I'm wondering what this scene would have been like with Jill.
Should have saved before you reload.
Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tomes so he can make up this concoction of his. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right. And thanks again.
I heard you the first time.
I'm gonna see if this is available in like YouTube or something. I'm sure it is. Apparently there's nothing too interesting that we missed. A lot of the same dialogue happens actually. But I guess it's got like a little bit more like will they won't they romantic stuff with Clive and Jill. But I looked it up, it appears to be like the same dialogue.
I wonder how Hippocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
Welcome home. He had a successful trip.
Ah, better late than never.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Taya how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Oh, and Clive. It was good to talk. We should do it again sometime.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moondew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Hippocrates.
Leave it to me.
Sounds so excited.
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
Okay, we'll report to Mid and then call it for this one.
I went up to give some praise to the
Mid hasn't been
Editors started reading books that don't have any date.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
I will say Yoshi P loves his grumpy
and bring me the
blacksmiths.
biggest salmon you can find. This is going to require some precision walloping.
It's a good trope.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want her to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I guess it feels right to end recording with visiting a fucking grave, so let's do that.
All right, Clive.
Something to look forward to.
We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the Twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that? In those words?
She did, yes.
Clive? Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
All right, I'm calling it here. We'll be back with part 2 of tonight in just a moment. We're taking a break.
See you soon.